Well, good morning, folks. We're going to do something a little different in this video today. You know, I loaded a video about scent. You're watching it right now today. And I was using WD-40. Some of you commented back already this morning. Yeah, WD-40, you could use it for scent. Well, I know a couple of you commented. I know your age. I'm sorry. But it's the truth. Guys, years ago, a lot of people used WD-40 for scent. But I hear so many of y'all young guys talking about different scent. Will this work? Will that work? Have you used that? A lot of y'all commenting to me about stuff like that. I got a lot of local people be talking about that. So here's what I want to do today. I've got 4 different scents. I got one more I might try to. Now look, this is Berkley Power Scent for Crappie. This is an old bottle, as you can see. This bottle's probably, oh gosh. This bottle is probably 15 years old. I did open it up and look at it yesterday. It's not very pretty, but, oops, cap fell down in there. And I got a brand new bottle at home that had never been opened. Yeah. I used to be sponsored by Berkley, okay? When I was fishing bass tournaments and guiding for bass a lot, I was sponsored by Berkley and Fenwick, everything that they sell, okay? Now, you see it's a little nasty because it's old, but still got the same old odor to it. It used to be clear, right, when it's good. I still think it's probably good. Woo, it still smells good. Berkley Pyrobait smells like rotten fish, doesn't it? All right. Now, we're going to start with this one, and we're going to catch a fish on one of these colors. I've got the new Super Moon in there. I got Dipstick. I've got Dreamer, a bad Dreamer. These are all these baits are seconds. They either got a hole in the nose or something like that. Grenada Bug and Rocky. And with the colorless water right now, I think any of these would work. All right, we're gonna start with those. Okay, I'm gonna get closer to the dock right now. I'm gonna go away from it, and I'm gonna catch a couple fish with these. Then what we'll do, we'll probably go from dock to dock. Once you catch a few fish off a dock, they're not as aggressive. You catch the aggressive ones first, right? So it ain't gonna be fair to try another scent, okay, on the same dock, unless the fish are really aggressive. If they seem to be really aggressive, we might continue on with that. Now, guys, the reason I didn't let the camera run, because I'm gonna tell you what. There you go. This school's stubborn. It took, and then he got off. It took about 10 casts because they're way back in there. So that's the thing about dock fishing, you gotta get to them. See, front of the dock is 9 feet and they're at 20 feet. They're back up where those chairs are. And the lake's up about 6 inches. We've had a lot of rain. We had a pour down Tuesday night, I mean flat pour down. All right, guys, I finally hooked another one. Oops, he's not as big. Fell over my dad, I'm backing up. I was backing up and I ran into my dash. Good thing I got a big front deck in it. That's one of the reasons I bought this boat. Because y'all know I like to stand and fish. One of these days I might have to sit down. The way I've been the last couple of weeks, y'all, somebody noticed I was limping around on the boat. Yeah. I'm doing better. I hurt my leg last year. Okay, that was on Berkley Crappie Pyrobait. One of my favorite scents of all time to use. Again, I'm a little prejudiced because I used to work for them. They sponsored me for about 5 years when I was fishing seriously and heavy. All right, that was like from 2000. That's how old this stuff is, guys. That was like from 2003 to about 2008 to when, yeah, to gas went crazy the first time and everything went crazy. And that's when they sent me a letter and said, hey, we're cutting our sponsorships in half. Sorry, you're one of them, and I lost my sponsorship. All right, we're gonna move to another dock. Those are very tough, and we'll try another scent, or we're gonna move to another spot. Okay, I gotta go looking now, find some. This time of year, they're moving around a lot. Okay, guys, I moved. Actually, I went to another spot. There wasn't no fish there. You gotta find them. Yeah, I said this in a couple of videos. Y'all think I just pull up somewhere and just catch a bunch, but I spend more time than you think I do looking for fish. You got to find them. Now, this used to be a favorite around here. Okay, this is for bass, though. This is called Smelly Jelly. It stinks, guys. You see how I've hardly used none of it? I bet it's 10 years old too. Look, I've been using a Nez for probably 5 years now. That's all I use. Now, somebody else has been commenting on the site, that's all they use. You know why? It smells good to me. If I get it on my hands, I don't go, ugh. And they use it in cooking. Now, Dave made a comment. He was watching a cooking show and said, David's talking about a Nez. I said, yeah, I know, they use it in cooking. Now, what I buy is not cooking quality. They make a cooking quality, okay? All right? Now, I caught the last one on the Rocky color because it worked the best. The water's got some color here. This one I'm going to start off with. I'm going to start off with this Blue Dreamer right here, okay? Oh, she's slick, too. I hardly even hold to. All right? Now, the rest of these guys, I'll just keep them. Here's the other bag. I'll just keep them in the bag like that. And I'll use them today or next few days or whatever, and I'll give them to somebody. I've got them pre-bagged in there for colors, okay? For each scent. I got four scent bags, but I was thinking about something else I was riding out here. We'll see how time goes this morning. It's late now. I didn't get an early start this morning. Guys, I bagged baits last night. I've been working hard all week. I've been painting on a house. I've been power washing this week. I power washed 2 days. I don't know if y'all ever run a power wash or not. Yeah, it'll whip you. Because you're moving all the time. You got to keep that wand moving, don't you? All right. Let me get up here. I'm going to get closer to this dock. I checked it before I even stopped here. I checked it first thing. There's a few here. Like I said, the fish are still scattered. Every once in a while, I'll find a decent school. Bam. All right, guys, this is the Smelly Jelly. Wow. This might be a bass. I caught a bass at the last dock I went to, and he broke my line. I couldn't even handle him. He was so big. He did run around. That's crappy. He was running around, and I went, oh my gosh. And finally, he decided he wanted to go on, and he broke me off. I never got to see him. I figured he was a 3 pounder or bigger. I've caught quite a few 3 and 4 pound bass on this 2 pound test. And he was out in open water when he broke me. He came off. Good thing I netted him. And that fish nailed it. That was the Smelly Jelly. And that's a dipstick color. Because I had Rocky on there and it broke off. All right. We're going to switch to another. That's a nice fish there, guys. Bam. What do y'all think of that one? Thick, too. Nice fish. All right. Traffic's awful, guys. I got a late start. That was my fault. I've been working a lot of hours, and I got up 6 o'clock this morning. I thought, I'm gonna lay back down just for a minute. See the traffic? That's my fault. Now, spider on my hat. Now, y'all see me do the one WD-40, but I'm gonna redo it because not everybody watches every video, okay? So we're gonna put WD-40 in here, okay? And I think this time, I'm gonna go with the Blue Dreamer. Okay, they're good and soaked there. Like I say, everything is left over. I'm going to, let's just give them away, except for one maybe. Maybe this next one. All right, let me get up here and get set up. Like y'all see, I'm fighting traffic. In the summertime here, once the warm weather starts, it's daylight to about 11 o'clock. At 11 o'clock, you must as well go on in, because if not, you got to fight traffic. Sometimes you can find you a place and get away from the traffic. All right, guys. I told you I was fooling with the new camera. I tell you, it's gave me a hard time today. I adjusted it at home, thought I had it going. It cuts off on its own like probably every 5 or 8 minutes if you're not using it. And I have not figured out how to stop that yet. And it goes to time warp. Stop flopping. That's a nice fish, guys. Now, it took me a while to catch him. That's on the Blue Dreamer, and that's on WD-40. Nice fish. Now, I'm going to leave this spot. I'm going to tell you that they're not aggressive at all. I bet I made 10 casts to catch that fish. I'd get bumped. They would follow me. So forth. So, I know. And, of course, again, it's the boat traffic today. Y'all see it's one boat after another. If I just quit for a second. I'm bouncing up and down. They're taking a beating. The wake's coming through there. I'm gonna go somewhere and try to get off this main creek channel into a little cut somewhere where we got some deep water. Already the crappie are moving to spots that have some deeper water, and they like to be close to this channel. All right, guys, I got hung up on that dock back there. I never caught one of those fish because I'm using this 3-in-1. All right, one bumped me, but I believe they were small bass. I don't think there's even crappie, to be honest with you. They wasn't setting up like crappie. Spotted bass here are thick. They're taking over the lake. They've asked us not to throw them back when we catch them. They're having tournaments today, and I hope in that tournament, tournament directors told them the same thing. All right, I didn't have but 2 in there. I lost the one, got hung up. Now, same thing here. There's something here, but I'm not sure if they're crappie, because it's not but a couple. But the only reason I throw at something like that is that I've caught some big crappie doing that. The big crappie, what happened to my line? There it went. The big crappie will stay by themselves, okay, 4 or 5 at a time by themselves. Hey guys, this is the old one. I'm on a treetop right here. You can see the treetop, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what, here's what I've noticed. All right, and I'm gonna try it at another dock yet. When I can get it to the fish, there's one right here I'm sitting on top. I got my gain turned way up so I can see this jig. This jig is not but a 1/48. And I'm trying to keep it out of the tree, and I'm trying to skim the tree and sucker them up. And so I don't see it now because that's a small jig. So I'm just gonna start reeling it. But what I've noticed now, I've had a couple fish follow me. I've had a couple fish come up, see the jig, follow it, all right. And that's why I was trying to see my jig. And the last 2 got behind it. And as soon as they got close to it, they turned and went back. All right, guys, I caught one on the 3-in-1 hole. I moved to a dock. Like I said, I was watching them in the tree back there, and they wouldn't hit it. But I moved up to this dock, and bam, there it is on 3-in-1 hole. I can't believe it either. I'm like, what? I can still smell the oil on it. All right, now it might not be as strong because I done casted it probably a whole bunch of times, but you can still smell it. The scent of the oil, they bit it. Now, I did notice, and I'll probably show you the clip. I was fishing an underwater tree, and crappie would pull up behind the bait like this, and then they'd turn and go back down. All right, so is 3-in-1 oil the best thing to use? No. This fish here probably hit it out of competition. All right, because there's quite a few there. Let me get my cape. Turn around, I'll show you. Right here. Let me get my chester and pull it and show you. Right here. See, those are right there. That's fish. We make this a little longer. There you go. It's probably 20 there. All right. That helps. That means if the couple went toward it, one of them went, no, it's mine. He ran up and grabbed it and probably didn't even take it, didn't even smell it. You know what I'm saying? Just grabbed it. So, that's probably what happened right there. Because I tell you, on those treetops back, like I said, they'd pull it behind it and turn and leave. Don't use 3-in-1 oil. All right? But I caught one on it. Now, the reason I made this video is, I hear people talking about it all the time, which scent's the best, okay? I think as long as you're using a good smell, the Berkley, smell of jelly be fine. Crappie, a lot of y'all use crappie nibbles. I don't like the nibbles. Y'all have never seen me use them. I do have some. I bought a jar. I think they're here on the boat. I have used them. What I don't like about them, if I can't skip under these docks with a nibble. It'll come off. I've tried it. If it stays on there, it's 1 cast. I got to put a nibble on every 1 or 2 casts. That's what I don't like with the nibbles. If you're vertical jigging, like a lot of y'all do, and you hold your rod out there and you just at a brush pile, so they're fine. They'll stay on there, okay? And they work. There's nothing wrong with them. What do they smell like? They smell like pirate bait. To me, the crappie nibbles, if you buy the pirate bait ones, this is what they are. It's the same thing, except they're in a solid form, right? I think that's all it is. The WD-40, it works. I mean, they'll bite WD-40. They don't seem to pay a whole lot of attention to it. I've heard a lot of people say, oh, don't get no WD-40. You're working on the boat. Don't get it on this. Don't get it on that. And I'm just looking, guys. My boat's moved a long ways. I was over there. And it's on spot lock. Yeah, and they ain't supposed to do that. I guarantee you I moved 15 foot. But, yeah. 3-in-1 oil is probably the worst thing I used, okay? Everything else, no problem. All right, I'm going to put this video together, see how it comes out. It might look silly when I get done. You're like, nah. But I think it's interesting that you can catch fish off of different scents and catch crappie off of it. Even a scent like Smelly Jelly that's made for bass, it worked just fine, okay? It worked just fine. Actually, it smells a whole lot like the Berkley Pirate Bait. It's got a fishy shad smell. I don't know what it's supposed to be. You can go to your local Walmart, your bait shop, guys. There's all kinds of scents out there, okay? All kinds of scents that you can buy. And if you don't like the scent of the Inez, what I put in the bag, if you don't like that scent, make your own. Put some in the bag. Smear it around in there. The Smelly Jelly would be just fine. Put 2 or 3 drops in them. Work the baits around in it. Put them back straight. Don't leave them crooked. If you leave them crooked, guys, they always will be crooked. If they sit crooked for a long period of time, they'll take that shape, okay? And make your own scent. All right? All right, I'm going to fish this school a little bit with another bait. I think I'm going to fish it with a tadpole. I haven't fished for a while. I got laying up here out there on the boat. And we're going to see if we can catch a couple more fish. Hope this was interesting to you. That's all I was trying to do, was make something a little bit more interesting. After I made the one with the WD-40, and I started getting the comments, yeah, we used to use WD-40 when we was kids. And they didn't have any other scent. I used to fish with the guy bass fishing, guys, back in the 80s, and he would take, and it wasn't, they're right, senses wasn't that common. And most times you buy a base, they just had a little oil in it. Crappie baits were hard to come by. You didn't have but Mr. Twisters and a couple things. But he would take WD-40 and squirt it in his worm bag, work it around, or his, whatever kind of plastic baits he was using. And he fished them. And he caught fish on them. So, hey, there you go. So I knew it would work. I didn't know, never tried it for crappie. That was my first time for crappie, but it worked. Appreciate y'all guys. Dennis just trying to make something different. See you next time.